All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to the Excel Reporter Spotlight Series. As new users, you are focused on specific tasks or goals. This series is designed to provide visibility to some fundamentals and capabilities you may have yet to encounter. Now, the focus of this is to simplify and automate water treatment compliance reports. You may not be in the water treatment or water market per se, but some of what we're going to be showing you might be applicable to what it is you're looking for as well. All right, it's a very brief presentation agenda. We're going to go ahead and give you a quick Excel Reporter overview. We're then going to actually go through the creation of the water form and the running of that. And then if there's any time left, we're going to have some questions and answers. All right, Excel Reporter, for those of you that are not familiar, we can provide data connectivity to over 80 data sources, as you see here on many of the major vendors, Aviva, Rockwell, GE, etc. We also support things like ODBC, LE, as well as OPC. So that means that we can also not only talk to SCADA sources, we can also talk to relational databases should they be the conduit or the repository for the data. In addition, we can use such, I guess you'd say, disparate data sources as log files that are generated by HMIs. We can also use that data for import and rendering of reports. We use a workbook design, and when we talk workbook or worksheet, we're talking what most of us would think of specifically Excel. These are Excel templates, workbooks, work templates, if you will. Now, the Design Studio is set up to run standalone. This can be done on any desktop without Excel required to be installed. However, if you have Excel and wish to utilize that in conjunction, the Design Studio can be run as a plugin to Microsoft Excel. But again, Microsoft Excel is not required. We can report automatically or on demand. So we can set this up so that as a scheduled process, data is pulled, reports are generated, and can be distributed, or these can be done in response to a user interaction with the on-demand UI. In addition, we also support not only the primary client for Excel Reporter, we have Windows desktops for remote clients, as well as access to web browser clients. We can use the browser to display the reports as well. And then finally, as I indicated before, we can distribute automatically or on demand. In these cases, for example, we can distribute the actual workbook. We can render it to a PDF that may or may not be encrypted, or we can generate web reports as well. In addition, we can distribute the files via email, FTP, or actually produce data for export into databases. Right. So what we're going to be working on here is we're going to import an Excel document, water form, one that's available from one of the municipalities that's around. There are some calculations that are required on this compliance report. It comes from the EPA. So we're going to go ahead and go through that. Specifically here, we're dealing with turbidity. All right. We're going to map the calculated data onto the compliance form, and then we can demonstrate how these can be automatically saved and named appropriately to facilitate either ease of storage or archiving or ease of retrieval. And this also will bring out introduce the concept of what we call the multi-sheet format of the report. So let me jump to the example. All right, so I have my Excel Reporter Project Explorer here. So as I indicated before in this template area, we're going to use the Studio. The Studio allows us to go ahead and create, although the template library allows us to generate reports from a fixed set of pre-formatted and configured report templates. We're going to go ahead and go on the fly here. We're going to use the Studio. We're going to create a new form here. just call it report one. We have the ability here to generate either a blank template, if you will, that can be populated 100% by you, or we can import, which is what we're going to do, an existing template. And that template happens to be here. And again, this is a form available from the local municipalities. In this case, it's the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. So as you can see this, we've already got some things hard-coded in here. As a supporter of the Microsoft Workbook worksheet format, we can support whatever formatting is available within the form that you import. Any data that currently exists, for example, as you can see, some of the PWS information. In addition, we can also maintain any data that comes with it. So in this particular case, we're going to go ahead and fill out the sheet. Two fields that we're going to do. We've got a number of data to import. For example, what we're going to be doing is taking a daily sample and for a month and provide not only total information, but we're going to be looking for exceptions. In addition, what we want to do, for example, is be able to designate the reporting period. So I'm going to click this field for a month here. Let's go ahead and create a connection. All right, for this first connection, we're going to be using expressions. And what we're looking for here happens to be the, where is it here? The month name. Hold on just a second here. Q8. Q8. Then we're going to go ahead and add this. All right. The other one that we're going to import here is we're going to go ahead and generate the year here. So we'll go ahead and come back into expressions. And now we're going to be looking for the year. And what we want is 4 digits. And we're going to put that in T. Sorry, here we go. And we'll go ahead and add those in. So now we've got these expressions here for the header information, if you will. For the bulk of the report, what you can see here is this is going to be the actual data that we'll be pulling from the SCADA source. Now, as you saw here, these are two discrete fields here, Q8, T8. Here we have what appears to be 4 columns that are going to be containing associated information. But if you look at the columns, these jump from B to J to O to T. So what one solution would be obviously creating each of these values, columns of values, independently, like you saw here, discretely from within the connector. What we're going to do instead, of course, is we're now going to go to a new connector. We're going to use a process historian. This is a it basically is a generator that we have in-house. It's not a live source, but it's providing the data that we need for this. And what we're going to generate here is an existing group that we've set up, the monthly form F. Now, if we take a look at this connector, you'll see we have the 4 values here that are asked for. Specifically, we're looking at the maximum filtered turbidity result. And under calculations, we've indicated maximum. We're also looking for the number of turbidity measurements. So we're going to look here and we're taking the count. The third field is the number of turbidity measurements that are less than the monthly NTU limit. We're looking at the 95th percentile. So what we're doing is we're taking the sample count here, and we're going to go ahead and get anything that's under 0.3. All right? Then finally, what we want here is we want to look at the number of turbidity measurements that are in excess of the maximum daily NTU limit. And the limit is 1, so anything over 1. So that allows us to go ahead and determine the individual field data that we're going to display, as well as how they're going to be calculated. Now, the time period for this is going to be relative, which means it's generated, the report's generated based on the time that we have on the clock on the computer that we're running. We're looking at the current month, and we're going to start on day 1 at basically at midnight. The interval is every day, and there's no limit to this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. We're going to go ahead and save this. All right. Now, a couple of things. One, as you noticed, we have those 4 fields that are consecutive. What would normally happen from a connector perspective is we would populate 4 consecutive fields. Although, as I indicated before, these are not consecutive. So there's a couple of things that we're going to do. One, we're going to address this in an easier fashion. 2, this is a multi-purpose form. And what you might notice down here already is that we've got 2 tabs. This is the form which is basically the summarization and the form that we're going to return to the EPA. However, this same data is used to generate multiple internal reports. And in those cases, managers want the summarization that you're seeing here in F, but most of the line personnel on the floor in the production environment, they want to see the raw data. So to address those, what we're going to do, and in this particular case, Form F, we're going to take these 2 expressions, which are the year and the date, all right, and we're going to go ahead and save that. All right, now we're going to come to the Manage tab. What we're going to do now is we're going to select the expression that we had before. All right, the process historian. We're going to go ahead and add that group back in. You saw what it was. All right, we're going to assign that to the data page. All right, and in the data page, we're looking. This is what the data page looks like. It's just tabular data. Again, easily laid out and more easily looked through for individuals, all right, that want to see the raw data. We're going to go ahead and set that up here, and we're going to add this. All right, so now we've got all the data for all the areas. Let's go ahead and save this. All right, now what we can do is here, I can come to Form F. What I can do is I can go ahead and preview this report. And again, as I said, that this is an internal generator with respect to the data, I'm going to ensure that I get a data interval where we have data that's usable. So we're going to come October 1st, and we're going to go ahead and refresh the data. And what you see now is the sheet filled out with all the data. Now again, the data tab, this is the raw data that was pulled through, and that was by the connector for the Form F only data connector. We simply using references based on how you associate one cell with on a sheet with a cell on another sheet. Typical type mechanism that you use for Excel to go ahead and populate this form. So what this does is it provides you the ability to produce the EPA report in addition to similar reports in-house using the same data connector that's been set up, as well as provide the data, raw data, to anybody that wants it. All right. Now, with respect to that, something else that we want to look at here, okay? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off here. This is the finished report version here and bring it up. One of the things that you can do is provide the report name. So we have a report name that's been assigned here, and this is something that you can modify. This is going to basically take this monthly Form F, and it's going to put it into a folder called Monthly Form F, and it's going to name the document or the report Monthly Form F, appended with the year and the month that it's run. So that what this allows individuals to do is put this into a single folder and easily from a file name perspective, be able to retrieve these either within Excel Reporter or any storage area that you may have designated for this to populate. All right. Now, additionally as well, what we have is from a schedule perspective, this is how this particular report gets run. Here, once a month, we're going to run this scheduled item, and you see that we have it set up here for 2 days, which means this is going to run on the 2nd of the month. It's going to run on the 2nd of the month, and it's going to run at 12:15 a.m. The action time adjustment, you see I've indicated is 1 month, which means on the 2nd of November, this will run the report for all of October. And the action that we're doing that's being performed here is what you see. We're simply updating the workbook. Okay? The second task that we're going to run, and again, there are other options that you can have, it's at the same time and cadence, but what we're doing down here, in this particular case, the default is we're going to print this to a worksheet. We're going to print the worksheet into one of the locations in the control room where they have the report. Additionally, this could be saved, as I indicated before. It could be saved to a web page. It could be saved to a PDF. That PDF could be encrypted, all right, or printed. In addition, we could transfer these reports now via FTP to another location within the organization. We could send these out by email, all right, as well as go ahead and move or delete these from any other areas. So what this provides you with is a very flexible way to automate not only the production of the reports, but the distribution of these reports as well. All right. So again, one of the things that we have here, it also allows you from the perspective of distribution internally, rather than having 2 separate reports, one report that has the data only, one report that has the summary only. This allows you to produce the combination report that can be used to be distributed to anybody needing any of this information. In the case of management, obviously, they simply look at the first page. In the case of operational personnel, they can look at the first page, discount it, page to the second and subsequent pages, looking at the data and get the information directly that they want there. So again, one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we covered was capabilities here with respect to specifically multi-part forms, which primarily individuals would have different forms that were required by an agency with the same type of data. So these forms would be like Form F, Form G, H, I, J, or whatever. We're using the Data tab to go ahead and actually generate the data in a more easily distributed form than it would have been directly from the connector. As well as, again, this is a water form, but I hope what it shows here from a more general perspective is how this could be used to import any existing form. You may have data entry forms that are based on Excel in the organization today. You may have report forms that are printed out. Individuals enter the data into it manually or what have you. We can use those forms as the background template for the report so that one less step is required from the standpoint of generating it on the required form in that format. 2, you no longer require data entry. And 3, it happens all automatically. Nobody has to pay any more attention to what's happening there. So hopefully this has been of some help. Again, very simple example, very short period of time they have in which to present it, but hopefully it's been helpful and has been able to provide you with some understanding of other things that we can do with the product that you may have yet to encounter. I appreciate everybody's attention coming by and joining the session, and we'll see you on our next one.